What's up, everybody? This is Chris with Reason for Believing, and today I want to give the reason why I believe that we should be making our own stuff as much as possible and relying less and less on store bought things. So today I'm just going to explain how I make cashew milk. So I buy these from Whole Foods. It's like $9. Trying to find a cheaper route. But basically, I let them soak in a sprouter jar with a sprouter lid. You don't have to have one of these. You can use a regular mason jar or something similar. But I like this because I can just dump out all the water and fill it back up without taking the top off. So I open these up. I fill the container up. I fill the container pretty much all the way up with water. And then I'll add in, I make Sole water. Sole water is basically like a super saturated salt water. So you can see there's like the water won't absorb all the salt just because it's so saturated salt water. And I just use like a little spoon and throw it in, like a little baby spoon, and throw it in there. And soaking the nuts, it pulls out the acids that are in there and the enzyme inhibitors. And the nut itself, if it's truly a raw nut, you want to use raw nuts. They will actually start to sprout. Most of them. Cashews, not so much. Almonds, definitely. Almonds you want to do for about 2 days. You want to let them soak for about 2 days, and I've rinsed mine about every 12 hours or so, or just whenever I think about it. Especially with the almonds, you'll see the water gets really, really murky because it's pulling out all that stuff that is, that's inside the nuts that is not. We're not really meant to eat these type of nuts like raw. You really want to soak them and let them get to the point once they're sprouting. Once they start to sprout, they're literally like, so many times more nutritious. So after they're done soaking, I'll rinse it out real good 2 or 3 times, and I'll just fill up a quarter cup of nuts to 2 cups of water, and I'll put them in here and put them in my NutriBullet, and this thing really turns that stuff to dust in there, and you get nice creamy thick milk. And so this is the store-bought brand, and you can see it's got 1 gram of protein per 8 ounces. So in this whole thing, there's only 4 grams of protein, right? In this whole thing, there's 5 grams of protein. Almonds are a little different. Almonds actually have a little bit more protein, but 5 grams of protein and 13 grams of fat, and 9 servings. So 9 times 5, 45, right? 45 grams of protein in this whole thing. So, and with 9 ounces, you'll end up with, I usually end up with about three of these. So each one yields about 15 grams of protein instead of 1 gram of protein. And this stuff has, here we go. This stuff has organic almonds, filtered water, sea salt, tricalcium phosphate, gelatin gum, locust bean gum, vitamin A, palamate, ergo, whatever, vitamin D2, vitamin E, vitamin B12. Not really the best types of those vitamins either, but and as you can tell, it's got a lot of extra stuff. With this, I will add just a little bit of Sole water in the final product, just to maybe help it last a little longer, and salt's good for you. So if you get the right salt, I get pink Himalayan salt that I get like 10 pounds at a time. That's directly from Pakistan because that's where most of that stuff comes from. There's a couple different ones if you want to get some really good salt for you. This stuff's really good. Colima salt, sea salt. It's from Mexico. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And after you blend it up real good, in here you're gonna get a final product, and you want to use a cheesecloth, right? And you want to get a really fine mesh cheesecloth, not like the ones at Publix. They're like the holes on them are really big. So even if you strain it 10 times, you're not going to get all the pulp out, because you don't want all that grit in your milk. You want that milk to be nice and smooth. And I think I have some. Yeah, I have some. This is some Brazilian nuts that I did the other day, and it's just nice and thick. So if you got something in a pinch, you got this right here. This is a good brand. It's only water and cashews, and again, in 8 ounces you got 4 grams of protein, so it's pretty good. But so that's about it on that. It's pretty straightforward. I would I save the leftover pulp. I have in one container, 9 ounces of almonds. That's how much pulp I got left over. So I'm probably going to store it a little differently next time and not all in one, because if I want to use it, I'm going to have to defrost the whole thing. So you can put it in smoothies. You can put it in basically whatever you want to put it in. I make my own banana ice cream. If you freeze a banana for a few hours, let it actually get frozen, pull it out for 10 minutes, put it through a juicer, add like some cinnamon, and you don't have to add anything else, just banana and cinnamon, and that thing is fire. Maybe some like chocolate chips, some dark chocolate, and it's amazing. So I don't have health insurance, but I do have health insurance, if you can see. Yeah, that's my health insurance. But anyway, so that's about it for the nut milk. It's pretty straightforward, and you just really, at the end process, you really want to get a fine cheesecloth and strain it a couple times. And if you got problems like, you got tons of pulp, just empty it out. I just put it on a paper towel and just empty out the pulp onto a paper towel. But you really get like all the pulp out using one of those. And something else to note, I also make candles. Use beeswax and soy wax, and you can basically add them to whatever kind of container you want to boil them in, and they make organic hemp and beeswax wicks, and you can just boil the waxes down, and I just put them in these little mason jars. It's not very pretty, but I'm not going for pretty. I'm going for if the power goes out, I got tons of candles. So I also make my own hair gel. It's use like cocoa butter, soy butter, whatever, not soy butter, cocoa butter or shea butter, and use it with beeswax, and you can literally make your own pomade. You add like more shea butter or cocoa butter to make it like smoother, because the beeswax is like, it's really sticky. So I'm making a new batch soon, and I'm going to use less beeswax and more cocoa butter. And also I started making my own iodine, Morgellons Direct. You basically, I take this package and I fill it up like a 4 ounce of distilled water, and it's not, about 3 ounces actually, and it's like the SSKI iodine. It's like super saturated iodine, and that's one thing that we really need in our diets with all this radiation and just chemicals we're exposed to all the time. It really helps. Oh, and if you want a decent tasting soda that's not a soda, try it. But yeah, I make my own stuff as much as possible. I got a bunch of other stuff that I do. I make like hand sanitizer, like all kinds of stuff. I make popcorn for my girls. They love it with algae on it. Go figure. And it's like spicy, but my girls tear it up. But yeah, I make like tons of stuff. So maybe I'll post some more stuff for that soon. I make my own deodorant. I make toothpaste once in a while. So just tons of stuff. But definitely this one, the nut milk, is essential. You're gonna save a lot of money. With all this stuff, I save so much money. And the cool thing, you can buy all this stuff on Amazon. It sucks you gotta support something like that, but I mean, it is what it is. You're supporting small people too, and you're not just giving Jeff Bezos all your money. You can actually save money and support other small businesses as well and get decent products for decent prices. So there you have it. Quit drinking stuff like that and make your own. It's been my reason for believing. Keep it healthy. Peace. Shalom.